Hi guys, Luca here from Jaeger Airsoft, back in the workshop, braving the cold. I'm not going to be down here for long. Part of the reason why I've not had much content recently is because it's been so cold in my workshop that I cannot work in here. I suffer from Raynaud's, which means that my hands do quite literally turn bone white and I can't feel a thing. So to avoid that, I've been using my spare room, which I can't record in. I don't have the same recording setup. So apologies for that. Anyway, this video is going to be a hopefully quick video on how to maintain airsoft gas magazines. This actually comes from one of you guys who requested that I make a video on how to maintain VMP magazines specifically. However, honestly, it's the same no matter what. There are different quirks for some magazines over others, but generally speaking, what works for one works for the rest of them. So we'll start with a VMP magazine because that is, see, what was requested. If your magazine is not leaking, you don't need to do anything. It's perfectly fine. If you've got dirt down in the track, then you might want to consider taking the base plate off and cleaning out the track. But otherwise, if it's a clean magazine, then it's just a matter of keep a little bit of gas in there, and that'll help maintain the seal. And until it starts leaking, you don't need to do anything. But what if it is leaking? Well, let me just empty this one real quick. There's a couple of ways you can diagnose what the problem is. First off is use your ears. Figure out where the sound is coming from. If it's coming from here through the gas router, that means that probably this is either stuck, needs replacing, or is the cause of the leak. If it's coming from this side, that means that it's probably the O-ring that is just here. And I'll take that valve out and now to show you. To remove the valves, you need tools like this. This is a valve key, an AIP one. I got these after seeing them on Jaeger Precision's video, and I quite like them. They don't work with everything though. They work with most things. And it allows you to very easily remove the valve. Never ever overdo it. If it's not moving, figure something else out because you don't want to break this inside. So, to go over which O-rings in particular are the cause of which leak. If it's coming from the gas router, it's usually this O-ring here or the one on the stem, as you can see there. Give those good lubricant. Usually, I would say use silicone when it comes to these because you want the O-rings to swell if they are silicone so that they take up more room. If it's leaking from where the knocker valve gets struck, then it's more than likely this O-ring here. And again, to do this, it's really, really simple. Just get a brush, grab your grease. You can use oil as well, but I always use grease. That is just a personal preference. It doesn't matter which, really. And then don't be stingy with it. Just put it on all of those O-rings. Then reinstall. This isn't something you have to do frequently. You only need to do this when it starts leaking from that area. Then when you're tightening it back up, don't over torque it. You only want it hand tight. And if it's leaking a little bit, then you can put a little bit more torque on it. But you do not want to over torque it. It is made out of brass quite often and it will break. And then you'll have a very, very, very bad time. Luckily the VMP valves are quite easy to get. If you do need to get them, just send me an email and I'll send you the price. If you want us to start stocking it on the store, we can try and do that. That's not a problem. If it's leaking from what sounds like down here, first take off the base plate by depressing this little bit here. If that's not going to work, then you can put it in like that. And now you can see that we have one there. If you put your thumb over that and you can still hear it hissing around the edge, then it's your base plate that's leaking. To change your base plate and repair the O-ring or replace the O-ring inside, there are two body pins here that you need to remove. As I said, all of my tools are currently in my spare room, not down here, so I'm not going to be able to take those out right now, unfortunately. But I can assure you it's a square O-ring, and you can, I believe, get replacements, and the VMP2 and the VMP1 both come with replacements, so you don't have to shop around for them. But if needs be, you can get kits like this on Amazon. JK Army sell a gas rebuild kit, which is also very, very good. That's the one I tend to take to site, and it's very easy to do so. And again, if it's leaking from here, use the red tool and just unscrew it. And unlike the other one, it's only the one O-ring just here. As I've taken this out, I am going to give that a quick grease. And this one in particular is one that loves to shear off if you over tighten it, so don't over tighten it, and don't cross thread it either. Just in, enough to be hand tight, done. Don't need to crank that down. Pop your base plate back on, and hopefully that's an hour restored mag. If you've got the base plate and P-mag sleeves that we sell, then it's again very same deal. Push in the follower for the base plate, and you can pull it off like so. Now, other types of mags that can be a bit more of a pain. This is a KWA USP match magazine. This one could be a bit of a pain because it's 2 body pins at the top in order to remove the gas router. I think this can be a pain. I've never actually had a need to remove this one, but I believe it's also 2 body pins at the bottom. Yes, it is. And the reason this is a pain is because, unlike with this, so this is flat. If you need to clamp it down in order to get those pins in, that's easy. This is not flat, this is at an angle. That is not easy to clamp down. The reason I know that is because of these mags, Mark 23 mags. Same deal, they are a nightmare to put back together. So don't do it unless you've got a vise with some soft jaws, or you're not going to be able to get it back together. Believe me, I know. I tried it before I had a vise and it was a nightmare. So save yourself the headache, get a vise. I believe that there are correct tools in order to put these back together. I believe there is a sort of jig that you can buy, but I've not actually seen it. So if you do know what jig I'm talking about, please by all means put it in the comments down below so that I can then go get one for myself and make my life even easier. What did I do with that little tool then? Put it down somewhere. I'm always doing this. Slash being blind. Doesn't matter, we'll sort that in a minute. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Super simple. Find the leak, lube the O-ring, reassemble, replace the O-ring if that doesn't fix it, or in the case of the valves, get new valves. Where do you get the new valves? Depends entirely on the magazine. VMP mags and WE you can get from Nuprol, or you can get them from KY Airsoft. For the others, I believe WGC is probably the best place to get the KWA stuff, as is GHK and VFC. When it comes to MWS magazines, that's a whole entire different kettle of fish. And in fact, I'd recommend you go and watch Jaeger Precision's video on that, because he's already covered it extensively. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Catch you on the next one.